Penny Parker came out in the Spider-Man set, so I don't care about Marvel superheroes. In all seriousness, here we are in potentially the most apathetically received Universes Beyond set in the history of Universes Beyond, unless it's your job to beat the drums of hype, Marvel superheroes. Players are not excited for this set, to the point of seriously considering or actually leaving the game to subjectively greener pastures. Myself? Well, there's two parts of me on this set. One part of me is the part that, at the end of the day, is here to play Magic the Gathering, the trading card game. I'll pick up the singles I need for my decks and move on with my life. As Benjamin Wheeler said, does it resolve? While I do like other trading card games, Magic the Gathering is my favorite because I believe it is the mechanically strongest game out there, and the play patterns are my favorites that other trading card games just don't quite emulate for me, which is good. I like that I have other options that aren't just other Magic the Gatherings. However, there is the other half of me that really just doesn't enjoy the vibes of this set. I wasn't a particularly huge fan of the Spider-Man or TMNT set for various reasons, and this set seems pretty similar to both of those. Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, recently put out an article on his thoughts comparing why he liked Final Fantasy set versus disliking Marvel superheroes. And one of his main points in the article was how the Marvel set doesn't build a world, it builds characters. Now, while I do agree that Magic the Gathering is decent enough at setting up worlds, let's get real for a moment. The reason people don't like Marvel superheroes is because they're tired of seeing Marvel superheroes. Universes Beyond has become pretty notorious for using IPs that have been stale for years at best. And while Marvel is still making comics, movies, and TV shows, in the cultural zeitgeist, the franchise is incredibly stale right now and has been for a bit. Forget waxing poetically about design, this set could be the best world-building set Magic the Gathering has ever had, and still be one of the most apathetic sets of recent memory. But to me, one of the biggest problems with this set isn't an issue unique to Marvel superheroes or even Universes Beyond, but a problem Magic the Gathering has had with many of its new sets. Mechanical identity. Remember when Magic sets, hell, Magic blocks had fleshed out mechanical identities? It wasn't that long ago when you went to a pre-release, the judge explained the 3 or 4 new mechanics to the set, and you were pretty much all set to go. Then designers wanted to add mechanics in for single cards, but the mechanic wasn't in that set, so they gave the card the reminder text version of the mechanic. Clunky, but it worked when it was needed. Nowadays, this tactic is used in almost every set for multiple mechanics, and if not the reminder text ability, it's given some unique name in a Universes Beyond set. And now we have Marvel superheroes following the trend. Looking at this set, we have our usual new mechanics. Power up and teamwork are easy enough to grasp, if not a bit too similar to previous mechanics, but Universes Beyond has to be as parasitic, I mean special, as possible. Connive is a returning mechanic that fits for all the villains in the set. However, following those up, this set also has the following returning mechanics: Investigate, Improvise, Land Cycling, Landfall, Sneak, Equip Worthy, Enrage, Extort, Poison Counters, and of course numerous different typal synergies. And that's ignoring effects I consider more common and evergreen at this point. Now, not only is this a ton of mechanics for new players to wrap their heads around at pre-release, which is bad because I thought the point of Universes Beyond was to bring new people to the game, half of these mechanics are for only 1 or 2 cards total, making a less cohesive set overall. The average Magic the Gathering player is now in their 30s, so mechanically sets are progressively being designed for older players because far less younger players are joining the game. More older players means more players that understand multiple mechanics, hence the mechanic bloat. But why does any of this even matter? Well, I already made a couple short points about it, but the big thing is this. When mechanical design gets diluted, the set's identity gets diluted, the story of the world gets diluted, and now, instead of a fleshed out set and plane, we have characters, references, and jokes people can point at instead to fill the gap. Now, I'm not going to pretend like these aren't fun from time to time, of course, but an entire set of these, instead of an actual story or world, brings the entire experience down and leads to these apathetic sets we've been seeing. Now, it would be easy to just point at Universes Beyond as the only culprit for this, and there may be some potential truth to that. Maybe Universes Beyond warped how non-Universes Beyond sets were designed, but I don't know enough about the internal set design to say anything with confidence. From my perspective, this has been an issue progressing over multiple sets and multiple years, so it seems like this is the way things are going to continue going. I hate to rag on Commander like everyone else, but I do think set design focusing on more legendary creatures and big spells versus world building is in some part driven by Commander's popularity. And maybe none of this even matters. Plenty of people in the community don't actually care about Magic's story or think it fell off, or never thought it was on in the first place. Everyone online has been abuzz the last couple weeks on this topic, so I've had some time to think on it. And my thought is this. I'd rather Wizards try and completely fail to design a new world, a new story, or a new mechanic than to cut corners, slap glup shittos onto cardboard, and call it a day to cut costs in the writer's room. So those are my thoughts on Marvel superheroes. Agree? Disagree? Want to tear me limb from limb? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content and want to see more, or hated the content and want to see more of me to hate. I also have a Patreon where you can donate if you think I genuinely deserve to live. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.